Welcome, everyone, for another episode of the Good Morning News podcast. I am Galfi, here with me, publisher, and Diego, and we are the first decentralized news organization. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing really good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good as well.
And this is our therapy session.
I hope so.
Welcome to our weekly therapy session. Exactly.
There you go. All right,
Well,
publisher just told me that he's got good news. What are the good news? What's up?
I just have to announce something that I'm missing Hero already. He's not here with us today. I'm already missing him.
Give the guy a break, man. He needs to go travel with his kids, and
Hero he's been on vacation for the past. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. It feels like 2 weeks, even though I know it's only been a few days. It feels like a lot longer. I miss him a lot. I cannot wait for him to get back. He did send me a message this morning saying that he is not going to Los Angeles and that he will be back on the job come Monday morning. So we got that to look forward to.
we're a bunch of crazy people. Like, even though we're on vacation, we can't really forget our stuff. Like, forget our projects inside.
He's struggling with it, right? This is the first time that he's been away from Good Morning News since the inception. It's also the first time he's been away from Bankless and Dow Punks. So he's definitely struggling a little bit. I know he's really been fighting the urge to jump in on the things that he's missing while he's on vacation. But you got to fight that, right? Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out, which I ran into a little bit worried I was going to burn the whole project.
No, please don't. No, please, we need you. Don't go.
But that's actually an important thing we should probably talk about, right?
Yeah. I'm kidding, but I totally understand. Yeah.
The burnout can really creep up on you. And I'll speak just for my personal experience, right? I personally have been going nonstop for 113 issues, 114 issues. I don't know what number we're on anymore. And, so I still haven't taken a full day off, right? I still show up every night and we still get this thing out. And, I definitely found myself earlier this week and definitely end of last week, just really, really stressed out, like far more than I should have been. This whole thing was built to have fun, right? So that we can have fun doing this. And if you're not having fun doing this, then what the hell are we doing? And just in my own personal case, it was just simply because I had stretched myself too thin, right? I was burning the candle at both ends, trying to help as many other projects as I can, build new stuff. And yeah, it just all kind of hit me at once. I didn't even realize that it was happening until I found myself getting angry at the core team members of Good Morning News, right? The people that I love and trust the most, I found myself just getting angry with for no reason at all. And, it was at that point where I had to do a little bit of self-reflection and realize, all right, I got to take a couple of days off. Otherwise, I'm going to end up saying something that I regret or causing irreparable damage to this thing that I love so much. And that's important to realize that when it's there, right? It's important to know these things before and to catch them before, things go south. So took a few days off, got away from the project for a little bit, recharged the batteries, and hell, within one night, I put out 2 massive updates for Good Morning News that I'm excited to talk about. But are there any other thoughts on this topic of burnout in the space?
Yeah, I just want to say that this is really important. We should talk about it because every time we are saying, oh, how fun is to be here, how glad we are to build this thing, we are revolutionizing stuff. But there's a lot of energy and time to do this, and most of the time is really fun. But we have responsibilities, we want to deliver something good, and it takes something from us. So yes, it's really good. It's really fun. I love to be here. I love to work with you guys and talk with you guys. I totally understand what you mean. Sometimes we have to step back or take it a little slow and spend time with our families and friends, do something different, get out of the front of the computer. Otherwise, I couldn't recognize what I was doing anymore. Working and playing, and all the time was just sitting in front of my computer, doing something, and life is going on around me. So sometimes, yeah.
I think you have to be honest with yourself and realize whenever you're tired, you need to take a break. Right? Like, we can't really produce or make anything good if we're really like tired or burnout. You have to know your limits, and please rest and because we need everyone to be mentally good in this ecosystem. Otherwise, we're just gonna be like,
otherwise it just turns into another fucking job, and who the hell wants to do that?
Exactly. The whatever we're doing here is supposed to be fun, like you say. First of all, fun and enjoyable. That's why we're here. Like GMN is it takes us a lot of time, especially for publisher Diego. It takes them a lot of time, but it is a very cool, nice project that I guess everyone involved enjoy what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. And, I think one of the other things that is really so different with GMN, I think, is it really is, we joke that it's a job, but it really is a job, right? This is something you have to show up to every day. You got to commit to, and you got to get the job done, right? And that's very different than really a lot of things in this space, right? This isn't just another PFP project, right, where everyone's just having fun trying to make money. It really is a commitment. And Diego said something that I think was really, really accurate, that it does take a piece of you. If this is something that you really are passionate about, and that you really, really do think that this could be a new way of doing media, then you got to commit to it. And it does take something from you, but and it's not for everybody. It's not. I think a lot of people have come into Good Morning News really, having a lot of fire and a lot of passion in the beginning, but quickly realizing, man, this isn't something that I can commit to, or even something that I want to commit to. And that's okay. That's fine, right? Again, it's not for everybody. And that's why we have to have some sort of financial incentive just, to get people in here to do this thing. Yeah.
But I would say it takes something from us. And every day, the first thing that I do every morning is I sit on my computer and I read the last edition of Good Morning News, and I translate it to Portuguese. I added that so we can have a new edition. But there's a sense of accomplish something, I see now that we have more than 100 editions that we are doing something. And this makes me wake up every day and want to do it. Even when I'm tired, I want to sit here and do something, because I know you're going to be here, Gelfi going to be here, Paul going to be there, and Hero and Katrina, Double, and all the people that are doing this. And I think, hey, if they are doing, the least that I could do is be here with them as well, right?
Absolutely. I think you left out one really important demographic there, though, my friend. You left out the viewers, right? You're right. We've got over 100 of these bad boys out, which means that there are over 100 people that are theoretically taking in our content every night or every day. I wish that were 100% accurate. Clearly, we know not everybody does. Hell, not even we do it, the core team members. But you're right. There is and it's funny you say that it really is the same in the real news industry too, right? In traditional media, it's that sense of accomplishment, that sense that you are doing something good in this world and not asking for anything in return. That's important. I think that it's important to be able to sleep well at night. And if we can offset all the terrible scams and the cash grabs in this space by doing something good here, man, that seems like an important thing.
All right. So, moving to the next topic. You want to say something, Diego, before we go?
I would ask publishers to tell us about.
Yeah. What are you excited about, publisher?
Who?
Publisher, not Perchy. Publisher.
So I was up until about 6 a.m. last night pushing the final updates to the website. That website was actually down all of last night. We forgot to tell the community that. I just decided to go ahead and update everything. Felt like a good time to do it. So we've got the new viewer is live. You'll notice a couple new tabs if you go to goodmorningnews.club. There is a tab for the viewer, which will allow you to go to your wallet and view all the NFTs in your wallet, including your issues of Good Morning News. It's a little buggy, it's a little wonky, but it works, and it's really there to act as an emergency backup for whenever an OpenSea inevitably shits the bed again, and we need to have some sort of backup to where we can go and read our read the latest issue of Good Morning News, this will work as a great backup for that. And if you go there, you'll notice all your other NFTs are going to be stretched out and they look awful, but your issues of Good Morning News are going to look beautiful. You can go there and your issue of Good Morning News ought to fill up the entire screen. You ought to be able just to read the issue right there off the viewer, which has kind of been, one of the check marks on our little roadmap. So we've got that. We also have our own decks now. Now you can't get paper on there yet, which I know that's a whole nother thing we can talk about later. But we have our own operational decks now, where just God forbid, in case much like the viewer, if like Uniswap or whatever, any other deck decides to go down, Good Morning News will always have its own personal decks that we can go to and we can make trades on. I will get paper added to it. I just took the easy route and plugged directly into 1inch using this app, and never mind, that gets into the weeds. Just know that we will have our own token on there eventually. But right now we do have a working operational Good Morning News DEX, which is pretty cool. What else?
Basically, you're using GMN front end, but using the 1inch contracts on the back. Yep. Just
piggybacking off of 1inch's platform. Basically, it's just a clone of their front end that we slapped a Good Morning News.
Are you able to plug other DEXs, like other contracts, Sushi Swap contract in the back as well?
Sure can. 1inch just had a really easy plug-in for the Morales SDK that I was using, which was literally made it as easy as one click for me just to get everything wired up and working. So
and the trading, how about the trading fees? Goes to GMN, or you can set up a small fee to GMN and the rest goes to the...
That's actually a great question. We can set it up however we want. That's the beauty of having our own front end for it. We can set whatever fees we want. Right now it's zero. You can go on the DEX and you got zero trading fees. It was, I honestly didn't even think that far ahead, Mr. Gelfi. I was just thinking more of emergency purposes of where could our community go in case things go tits up. Felt like a great time to be thinking about those emergency protocols. So that's why we kind of have these very rough, very buggy, but working clones up for the community to take advantage of it in case the need were to arise. And of course, as time goes on, we'll get them polished up and get them looking good and get the bugs ironed out.
No, this is amazing. Congratulations. While you were telling us this, I'm browsing our site here and I'm really excited of this. You're doing a great job, though. That's why I say that you're the best developer of Web3.
He's trying to, right? Mr. Diego.
He's trying to.
I don't know if the best is the right word. Maybe the bravest, the guy that just is willing to build some shit and deploy it and cross his fingers and hope that it works properly. No, it's, I say this all the time, right? I stand on the shoulders of giants. Honest to God, boys, the heavy lifting was done long before I got here. Some people who are much, much smarter than I am built a lot of this infrastructure and a lot of this framework that allows people like me that know enough to be dangerous to come in and just spin up all these cool things and really just build on top of what they've already done, if that makes sense, right? So, yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, Mr. Diego, but just know that a lot of this was done long before I got here. I'm just able to stick a cool logo on it.
No, but you are getting everything together, Okay, people are doing this, but they are not, they have this information, but you have this talent of getting all this info and putting everything together and building something new from that. And this is what Good Morning News is becoming, right? It's a full platform.
It's becoming an ecosystem, right? I said something to somebody the other day that I don't just build stuff, right? I don't just build NFTs. I don't just build smart contracts. I build ecosystems. And what that really means is that I mean, you guys know this better than anybody. I just build stuff, right? I like to build things. That's what I'm constantly doing. And for Good Morning News, I joke all the time. It really is just my playground, right? It's a cool project that we have going, but at the same time, I'm also just constantly building crap and adding to it, whether it needs it or not. Let's be honest. Do we need our own DEX? No, but we have it. Do we need our own NFT marketplace? Not really, but we got it. Do we need fish? Absolutely not. But damn it, we have fish.
Yeah, that's what amazes me about this project. I mean, you keep on building, there's new stuff coming on, and it's always good for the community to have something a place to go to.
And we also
that's
deliver the news in a decentralized way, right?
Yeah, we do that too on the side. Another thing that I wired up last night, the archive is live as well, Mr. Diego. You can actually go and access the archive now and get one of the 100 NFT PDFs that we have, which I've been meaning to do forever. The problem is when I have to update the website, it has to come down for anywhere between 12 to 24 hours. And I just hate doing that, right? Especially because you never know. What if somebody's trying to mint something right as I take the whole damn thing down? So I'm constantly pushing off the updates. So last night was really an opportunity to just pull it all down, reset everything, and get some of the new stuff added that I've been meaning to get in there for a while. So we got the archive. I feel like there was something else. Mr. Diego, is there anything else new that you're seeing there that I haven't mentioned?
There's the donut shop, the gift shop, the pet store where people can mint the fish. There's the Good Morning News TV. And we are supposed to stream this live.
Shit!
One of these days, right? I just remembered that.
We will. One of these days we'll stream it live. Don't worry.
We'll get it next week, guys. Next week. Coming live next week. Wow.
So one thing I know when I check my profile on OpenSea, I have a bunch of donuts. I have fish. I have donuts. GMN newspaper.
It's becoming just a wasteland of Good Morning News NFTs. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's all right, man. It's all good. It's all good. One day I believe these donuts, the fish, they're all gonna have utility. So I'm okay with that.
But this is really important.
No, I mean I built the damn thing, Mr. Diego. There's no utility coming to those partners.
You never know. We're decentralized. You don't get to decide stuff.
I mean, but different from by what people are saying these days, different than MetaMask. We are decentralized, right?
We are. I mean, it's a process. We are decentralized, I think, as we can be. And I like to tell myself that we're decentralizing more every day, and it certainly feels like it. But at the same time, there's also days where it feels like it contracts and goes the other direction, right? And the days I'm talking about are the days where no writer shows up, where no voiceover talent shows up, and it's either me or Hero doing it all. Those days it doesn't feel very decentralized, but flip side, days like last night and night before where we had a writer come in, we had voice talent come in, and all I had to do was push the damn thing to the blockchain. We feel really decentralized on those days. So it's a sliding scale, buddy.
Yeah, but I was trying to make a joke with people that were talking bad things about MetaMask these days.
Shit, I screwed up the segue, Gelfin. Bring us back. It was a good segue and I butchered it.
Yes, but whatever you were talking there about decentralization on the Good Morning News, I think that the layer 0, the first layer are people. And the more people we have on our community, the more decentralized we're going to be. Like the publisher just mentioned, there's days that we don't have any writers, we don't have anyone to record a voiceover, so it kind of gets centralized. But one thing that I've noticed is that we're not relying on Discord. If Discord goes down tomorrow, GMN is still going to run. Our voting system migrated to Snapshot, which is a decentralized thing, or the contracts are deployed on OpenSea on the blockchain. So that's a good thing, and I think we're moving to the decentralization more and more as time goes. But ultimately, we need people. As more people join our community, the better it is.
Well said, sir. The tooling's in place, right? The technology's in place, the tooling is in place for this thing to grow and grow exponentially. But like you said, you got to have that layer 0. You got to have the people there to grow it out. But yeah, the infrastructure's in place for this thing to be completely autonomous at the end of the day. As soon as certain translators learn how to manage their own nodes, or as soon as
we are working on that.
Workshop. Yeah. But it is a work in progress, and it does feel like we're making pretty large strides every day.
Yeah, and like I used to say, and I say a lot, I know it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. We don't have to run things and rush things here. We want to take every step, knowing what we are doing. We are experimenting, and everything is working really well. So it's pretty much 4 months that Good Morning News is running, and we have more people coming in every week. We have, like Publisher said, we have new talents. Now we have new nodes. So we have different languages. And if you're listening to us and if you want to help us and bring Good Morning News to more people, different language, just join us. Feel free to be part of this. And we are really open community. Everybody's really welcome. They're really supportive, and everybody's welcome to join Good Morning News, to share ideas and be part of this.
And on top of that, I want to add, if you're in the crypto space, only for money, I don't think that's the right place for you. But if you're here for the culture, to change the world to a better place, to build a decentralized financial system, this is the right place. And this project, the goal is to decentralize the news industry, the decentralized news. Like we don't want anyone to censor whatever we're posting there, and it's built from the community to the community. So yeah, join us if you have a good communicative skills. If you're a leader or if you are accountable, join GMN. There's plenty of work to do, and you're always welcome.
Couldn't have said it better myself, friend.
Don't come pretending that you're gonna be rich. You're gonna make a lot of money, because that's not it. We're here to really build something. We don't know how far this thing's gonna go, but we're all hoping that's gonna go, far away, gonna go big. So yeah, join us for the mission, not for the money.
I'll say this, that there is a saying in my industry: nobody ever got rich doing the news. And those words couldn't be more true. Man, C-Dub is blowing up our Discord right now. Sorry for that, Gelfie. Getting all sorts of notifications in the background. But it's true, though, right? The news industry is a thankless industry. Getting information out to people is a thankless job. But in my opinion, and why I'm so passionate about this, is because I feel like it's a job that has to be done. Otherwise, we end up in a situation where nobody knows what the truth is anymore. And we've gotten very, very close to that in this modern age. So I like to think of Good Morning News as a weapon to fight back against misinformation.
And I just want to use this part of your talk here, just to say, please don't believe in these people that I'm here for everything that we are saying. It's true, but I'm here to talk bad things about people spreading fake news. And no, this kind of, MetaMask is centralized. No, it's not. It's a D app. No, there's a company running. Everybody knows that. Just like your internet provider, there's a company behind that. Okay, it's not a problem. It's just that, and Publisher has the technical knowledge to explain it to you. But if MetaMask is not working in your country, just change the RPC, just change the provider. And I don't understand why these people that love Bitcoin, BTC, and I really like Bitcoin, is really important, but they has this kind of romantic thinking, and they seem to think that only people who likes Bitcoin cares for the decentralization. I don't know why they still speak this all the time, and they spread this
misinformation about what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, right?
Just bring the news up. What happened? So Metamask, not Metamask, but Infura blocked. Some countries. There seems like they're trying to block Russia or Ukraine, whatever, but accidentally they blocked Venezuela to use it, and Metamask uses Infura, right? And the back end to go into the block, to communicate with the blockchain. But your funds are never in MetaMask; they're in the blockchain. So Publisher can explain it better.
Yeah, let's just real quick, right? What is Infura? No, I would imagine 99% of the crypto space had never heard of Infura until this week. What is it, right? What is this shadowy company that lives in the background that seems to have control over the entire Ethereum blockchain? Well, here's what it is. Mr. Diego was pretty close when he said service provider. That's pretty kind of what they are. You can think of Infura as a service provider for the Ethereum network. But at the end of the day, all they are is a collection of nodes, right? Infura runs their own nodes, which plugs into the Ethereum blockchain, which then Metamask then plugs into themselves to read the data, to send and receive data from the Ethereum blockchain, right? That's all it is. So if you don't like Infura for some reason, let's say they decided to start blacklisting countries, well, then all you got to do is spin up your own Ethereum Lite client, hook your MetaMask directly up to your Lite client node, and bam, Mr. Diego was very close. You're basically just changing the RPC endpoint to your own node. You're pointing MetaMask to a different thing. So you're right. There is a lot of misinformation out there. MetaMask did not go out and say, no, Argentina or Venezuela, whichever country it was, can't do this, right? That was Infura on the back end as a service provider saying we are going to cut off our nodes to these regions because somebody somewhere told us to. And they're a company, they probably have to comply with these things. But that doesn't mean that you're blacklisted, right? People in Venezuela could have easily hooked up to another node or simply changed their RPC endpoint and been off to the races again. There are hundreds and hundreds of alternatives. Can you
explain what that is? Like changing the node? How do they do that? And what does it mean?
Right. So what's the best way to describe this? So your node, you can think of your node as you think of the node as the middleman between you and the blockchain itself, right? You've got to have, because you don't speak binary, you got to have something interpret your words to the blockchain, right? And vice versa. You can think of the node as kind of that, right? That middleman. Now in the Web 2 world, that middleman is your IP, right? Your service providers, your GoDaddies of the world and that sort of thing, right? But with Ethereum, and with blockchain, right, it's a decentralized thing where you've got hundreds of thousands of these same nodes all over the planet running the same validation thing, right? That are all translating for different people out there. So anybody can choose any one of these nodes from anywhere in the world and be able to communicate with the blockchain. You can start your own node and be able to communicate with the blockchain. You don't even have to rely off these other ones.
So just to bring a point here. The only way to really expand decentralization and avoid all these problems that we are talking about, these companies and the middlemen, is to run your own nodes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's from Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Avalanche. It's just run your own node. So if you don't run the nodes, it can happen, right?
And you're going to learn really, really quick just how centralized your blockchain of choice is when you make that decision, right? Because you and me, Mr. Diego, we can't run a node on Solana. We don't have the computer power to do that, right? You need a damn supercomputer to run a node on Solana. You need a supercomputer to run a node on Polygon, right? We could never be validators on our own network, which is a scary thought.
Unless you have a lot of money and a large space to build your own server.
Right. And you can go look at these requirements. I encourage everybody to go look at the requirements for the blockchain of your choice. It's in the docs. It'll tell you exactly what kind of computer you need to run your own node. With Ethereum, you have 4 different nodes that you can pick from. The lightest of those nodes being the Ethereum Lite client, which you can literally run on your cell phone. It requires hardly any space and any power at all to do it.
You can use it in Raspberry Pi, just like people run Bitcoin nodes on Raspberry Pi, right?
Yep, absolutely. Now there are different tiers of Ethereum validator nodes. You can get into the archive node. That's the largest one.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of episodes ago, right? You were explaining to it.
And you need a little bit stronger of a computer to run it, right? You need a little more hard drive space to run it, but it's not out of reach of the average person. I could run it on my computer, and I'm sure you guys could run an archive node on your computers as well. It's not that taxing on the system. But we don't have that option, right, with other blockchains, especially some of the more popular ones right now. But to Mr. Diego's point, if you are worried about centralization, if you are worried about companies blacklisting you and kicking you off the network, it's a really simple answer. You just got to run your own node, and it's not as complicated as it sounds. A lot of this stuff in this space was made intentionally far more complicated than it really is to try and detour regulators and such away from the space, which has been pretty successful, actually. But anyone can do it, right? It's literally as simple as clicking down, going to the Ethereum website, going to the node section, clicking download, and just spinning up your own node. You can do it in 5 minutes. And then you just got to pull up the RPC endpoint for that node and plug it right into your MetaMask settings. You just go to settings, advanced settings, and change the RPC endpoint. One line of, and it looks just like a website, right? It's like putting in a URL.
It's quicker to do it than to run a bad piece of information and spread wrong information through the world.
You know, to the Bitcoiners' point of view, let's go ahead and let's play the devil's advocate on this. Bitcoiners' complaint with Ethereans has always been that we have never focused enough or put enough focus on running our own nodes. And they're absolutely right on that, right? You never hear Ethereans talking about running their own nodes. That's never been a real topic of conversation among Ethereum folks, right? We're more focused on building new stuff and not really focused on that part of it so much. But they're right. You know, they absolutely are right. And recent events in the world has shown us just how important that conversation really is. And it probably is one that as Ethereans, we need to be having more often. I'll tell you, I certainly never gave much thought to it until recent events, right? I never thought to myself, here's where I really started to think about it, was when Polygon began shitting the bed a couple of weeks ago, right? That's when I really began looking into, okay, what is it going to take for me and CWK to spin up our own Polygon nodes and be able not to have to rely on Infura and Metamask, right? Because that's where everything was failing. And the answer is we can't, not unless we want to spend $10,000 on a new rig. You know, we can't, which is unfortunate, right? That was a real unfortunate realization for me. So, you know, again, just to bring it all back home, run your own node. If you have a favorite blockchain out there other than Ethereum, I encourage you to look at node requirements for what it would take for you to personally run one to protect yourself. And
that makes me think about how important layer 2s are going to be if they inherit the Ethereum security. Because as you just say, if Polygon fails, there's no place to go. But if layer 2s like Arbitrum or ZK rollups fails, you can always go back to the mainnet, which
the
is
escape hatch. Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be a very important topic in the future, where people are going to, okay, if MetaMask is doing this and that and blockchain is failing, where did I go? So this is something really important for the future. We're probably going to be talking about that in the future episodes. But for today, I think that's it, guys. Today was a shorter episode. We don't have Hero here. Hero likes to talk and explain his thoughts very well. But anyways, I would like to thank everyone for joining us, and I'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one,
guys.
friends.
See you.